AITA for refusing to watch my niece while my sister gave birth. I 17 meters have an older sister 24. She has a 2-year-old daughter. My sister recently gave birth. It was early and unexpected, and our family went to the hospital. Everyone except me, my sister and my mom just expected me to watch my niece. I don't know anything about watching a kid. I don't know how to change a diaper or what they can eat. I tried to refuse and leave. I also had plans that day, but my mom basically told me if I didn't watch my niece I'd be grounded. And this was an emergency and that I was being selfish. I left anyways. And now I'm grounded and my sister won't talk to me because my mom had to stay home with my niece. I don't think I'm the I don't have any experience with kids and I already had plans that day. My mom was there for my niece's birth, so I don't know why it's so important she's there for the second. YTA. If you spend much time here you will see a ton of threads that come down to, it is wrong to force a child to babysit a sibling unless it is an emergency. This was that emergency. YTA. It was early and an emergency. Do you understand what that means? It means your sister and her baby could have died. Has that information penetrated your skull yet? Is it possible that it could? Does that explain to you why your mother would want to be there? If you were their main plan for the due date I'd have a different answer. But this was an emergency. Lives were at stake. YTA. There was a medical emergency and you didn't want to be inconvenienced. I get it's stressful to be responsible for someone else, but she's family. If you're smart enough to figure out Reddit, you can Google how to change a diaper and try your best if she gets hungry. I'm sure you can text your mom what to feed her. It'll probably something simple like, make her a bowl of Cheerios, or, microwave some chicken nuggets. Take the kid into the living room with you. Put her on the floor, in her chair and put on some cartoons. Don't be shocked when you ask your sister for a favor down the road and she won't help. YTA. You've made it seem like the main reason you didn't want to do it was because you had plans that day. Help your family, you're 17. Grow up and think about someone besides yourself. YTA. If you can type all this on Reddit you can Google how to change a diaper. YTA. I had plans that day. I left anyways. If I was your sister I probably wouldn't forgive you for not helping and for not giving a SHT about your niece who's been alive for 2 years. Hope your plans were worth it. YTA. I was 10 when my mom left me alone with my baby siblings. Even if you didn't know how to take care of a toddler you could still watch over her. Call family, friends for help or advice or just Google it. I'm getting so sick of these Reddit posts asking if people are Oz for not being a decent human. Being taking care of an innocent and weak human being for max a day. Do you all hate your family or something? What happened to our village? Aren't we supposed to take care of each other? What's the point of having a family if you can't count of them during an emergency? This really is the end of humanity. We all just too selfish to function. YTA. It's a 2 years old, not a 2-day old they ask you to watch. FFs. You're 17 not 7. You sound like a selfish asshole. Hope you never have an emergency that you need help in any way. YTA. Search up weaponized incompetence. All you had to do was ask how to change her and what and when to feed her. You couldn't watch your niece for what? Not even a few hours? Pathetic and extremely entitled. Info. How early was it? Did they have a birthing plan? If so, who was supposed to watch your niece and was there any reason they couldn't do it? Who is everyone that went? Just your mom and your sisters so? Or were there other siblings, cousins that could have stayed behind? This all comes down to whether or not it was a true emergency or just poor planning. YTA. I think you make valid points, but ultimately this was a family emergency. Just step up and figure it out. It's 2023 and I'm sure you have a smartphone. You can Google how to change a diaper and learn in 2 minutes. You come off as extremely self-centered and immature here. And 17 is just old enough that you shouldn't be this unaware of a serious situation and can't use age as an excuse. YTA. Do you not want to be a part of your family when you're an adult? YTA. The amount of I was asked to babysit in a family emergency and I didn't want to, had other plans, don't know how, posts in this sub is astonishing. Are people really this incompetent and selfish? You are almost an adult. It's time to figure things out and practice some compassion. People start babysitting at 12 years old. Unless you have major brain or physical defects. I have faith you can figure it out. YTA. Malicious incompetence. There's a crisis going on and all you could think about is yourself and a flimsy excuse to get out of responsibility. You're 17, not 10. You can Google stuff and text your family questions. If you were my son, I would cut back the favors I do for you heavily since you don't seem to want to reciprocate and are much more focused on yourself. I don't want to believe this is real. You said the baby came early and unexpectedly. That is an emergency. You don't understand how dangerous childbirth is. A woman is one bad thing away from death. That is, by far, the time you would most want your mother with you for support and help. If my grandmother hadn't been in attendance during my birth and noticed something wrong and made the staff take action, me and my mom both would have certainly died that day. I really hope this is just rage bait because I am disgusted by your selfishness and lack of anything. YTA 100x over. I hope you mature and try to make amends, but I'll tell you, if you were my brother, you would cease to exist. YTA. It was early and unexpected by your own admission. Your sister was in premature labor, which can be a medical emergency, and is always stressful. She needed her mother there with her, and her mother wanted to be there. I get the whole, your kid, your problem, thing, but your sister and mother needed help. You were a selfish brat and left a toddler alone. What the hell is wrong with you to make you think that's okay? It isn't. This scenario again? YTA. JFC. Do you even need to ask? If you had refused to babysit under normal circumstances, you would not be taught. But this was an emergency. Refusing to help family in an emergency because you had other plans is incredibly selfish. Also, the "I don't know how" excuse doesn't hold up. It's not that hard to keep a toddler safe for a few hours. YTA. Soft YTA. Sure, it would have been unexpected and disruptive for you, but it was an emergency, so surely you could have risen to the occasion? I presume they didn't expect you to look after her for ages and that they just wanted you to keep her alive until someone else could take over.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. AmITheAsshole is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.